with March being International Women's History Month and having observed International Women's Day and Week earlier in the month, and those of you, of course, in my home country of England, celebrating Mother's Day this month as well. It's my pleasure to have Elizabeth Bailey on the program today. Of course, as Stan mentioned, with RH Capital, strong supporters of the HITLAB Women's Health Tech Initiative. And Elizabeth, wonderful to have you on the program. I know we don't have much time, but for those in the audience that aren't aware about the work that you do, and of course who you are, I'd love to invite you to just tell the audience a little bit about yourself and what you guys at RH Capital do.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jerry. I so appreciate HitLab's programming, especially in the women's health space. So really glad to be here. I'm Elizabeth Bailey, co-founder and managing director of RH Capital. We are an early stage women's health venture capital fund, investing across the healthcare continuum. So we invest in life sciences, diagnostics devices, and biotech, really all the way to digital health and tech-enabled services. I think according to the latest SVB report, we now have the largest portfolio in women's health. We've made 21 investments over the last 4 years and are continuing to invest out of our second fund and are gearing up for a third fund later this year.
That's fantastic. And, thanks so much for the work you guys are doing to really support our femtech founders, of course, within the space and helping them really get their solutions out to where they're needed to really address these unmet needs for women. And you're getting a lot of love in the virtual reactions, a lot of virtual applause for the work that you guys are doing. But we'd love to know, as a women-led impact venture capital fund, as you mentioned, what criteria do you consider at RH Capital when you're selecting these early stage startups to invest in, and especially those, of course, that align with that mission of revolutionizing women's health?
Yeah, well, I would say that the entrepreneurs are really doing the heavy lifting. We're just here to support them and the amazing work that they're doing. So as you mentioned, impact is really important to us. So, we always get the question, what does that really mean? We have 4 impact pillars that really guide our investment strategy that are all centered around health equity. So first, we invest in things that are scientifically or clinically transformative versus incremental innovation, which is also important. But we're really looking for kind of game-changing innovations. We also look for companies that are expanding access to products and services, and we're particularly interested in serving underserved communities, whether that be geographically underserved, rural populations in the US, BIPOC communities, or low-income and Medicaid populations. And I would say relatedly, we look for things that address affordability. We want to make sure that there's reimbursement in place, or if products are direct to consumer, that they are affordable to all women and all women can afford them. And our 4th pillar, which, last but not least, we look for innovations that are addressing systemic change, where we know there are huge inequities. And in addition to product innovation, we want to work to change the system that we know is not serving women very well today.
Yeah, no, I think really, really important criteria, really important, identifiers to really make sure you're working, of course, rather than just selecting the right individuals and solutions to really help to drive, the change within women's health. And I think especially those in the audience who are founders with these, who are creating some of these solutions right now, we'd love to hear a success story from one of your investments that really typifies the fund's bold approach, as you just described, to when investing in innovation and the impact that you just mentioned in terms of improving access and the quality and choice that's affordable sort of out there for women's health right now.
Yeah, so this is always a hard question for me, Jerry, because out of a portfolio of 21 companies, it's always hard to just pick one. But a company that we're particularly excited about these days is called Evie, which is a vaginal microbiome company. So Evie's a direct-to-consumer company providing telehealth and diagnostics around the vaginal microbiome. But through that D2C model, they have collected the largest data set of the vaginal microbiome. And so instead of, I think when we think about things that are game-changing and transformative, this is a company and a set of entrepreneurs that have said, we're not going to wait around for academia or industry to figure out this really important part of women's health, the vaginal microbiome. And instead, it's a group of entrepreneurs and women that are saying, we are gonna actually figure this out ourselves, which is incredibly inspiring. And what's been super interesting about a direct-to-consumer company is that they have a huge percentage of their customers that are opting in to use their data for research. And so I think while it's starting as a D2C company, the impact that they will have through this massive data set and through partnerships both on the diagnostics and therapeutic side, we think could literally revolutionize women's health.
No, that's really wonderful. I believe we've had Evie on the program of Women's Health Wednesday at some point, I think much earlier in their stage of development.
Yeah.
And it's really wonderful to hear you guys are working with them now to really create that impact and of course share that story with the founders here who are going through that the same sort of challenges that they've been going through as well. I know we don't have too much time, and it is always really short and sweet in terms of the sessions we have. But before you go, we'd love to hear about, in the context of course, the Vive conference that just passed earlier on this year, about sort of the role that RH Capital envisions playing in fostering collaboration and innovation within the women's health ecosystem, of course, and the opportunities that you see for startups in the space to connect, of course, with the fund, which I think a lot of the founders on the call today will be really interested in hearing.
So what I will say coming out of the Vive conference and actually just looking at the space more generally right now is that 2024 is unequivocally the year of women's health. So our fund has been in operation for about a little over 4 years, and I have never seen so much interest, excitement, momentum, activity in the women's health space as I do today. So when you look at things like the White House Initiative on Women's Health, the hundreds of millions of dollars that are being dedicated to women's health, the growing investment that we're seeing from venture capital, what we need is innovation, and we need data, and we need women and men to continue to kind of amplify the unmet needs in women's health. It's going to take a village, but entrepreneurs are really at the heart of that village, and are a critical component to advancing women's health. So I guess my sort of my closing words would be reach out. I would love to learn about what you're doing and how you're shaping women's health. We are here to help in any way we can, certainly with funding, but also through connections and other types of expertise. And lastly, don't slow down in what you're doing. This is an incredible moment. And your work has never been more important. So, please keep on doing the amazing work that you're doing as entrepreneurs.
No, thank you so much, Elizabeth. Really, really sage advice, I think, to end with, and a really, really poignant point to make in terms of really giving some encouragement to those founders who are really making a difference and creating these solutions within the ecosystem. Elizabeth, thanks so much for coming on the program today. I really appreciate you being able to make the time to speak with us, and a massive virtual round of applause is coming in from the audience here, we put Elizabeth's contact details in terms of her LinkedIn and the link to the RH Capital website. So please do check them out, as Elizabeth mentioned, and do connect with her and RH Capital if you not only want to look at funding within women's health, but also just getting involved within women's health and the important work that they're doing. So thanks so much, Elizabeth.
Thanks so much, Jerry. Really appreciate it. And thank you to all that HITLAB does for this space.
Of course, no, wonderful to have you on.